Hi everyone, my name's Andy Robertshaw. Today I'm going to be going through Daily Killer Sudoku greater than puzzle 31435. That's 31435. And once again, on the Facebook group for Daily Killer Sudoku puzzles, somebody was struggling with this one, so I thought I'd try and have a look at the puzzle and try and give a walkthrough. So, usual things. Choices where we got a few options first. I've got a 4 cage there, must be 1 and 3. A 23 cage must be 6, 8 and 9. My 11 cage, my only option left for that is 4 and 7. So I've got a 2 and a 5 left in this box for those two cages. Those two cells, sorry. And 2 and 5 in the 6 cage, so 1 or 4 to go with it. Right, okay, so what else? So a 6 cage there, 1, 5 or 2, 4. I've got a 5 cage there, 1, 4 or 2, 3. A 15 cage there, 6, 9 or 7, 8. A pair of equal cages there and something greater there. So we'll have a look at that a bit later. I've got 2 7 cages there, so 1, 6, 2, 5 or 3, 4. But not 4 there, so not the 3 there that would have gone with it. And I've got a 6 as well in this column, so no 6s there. No 1 that would have gone there with that 6. No 1 that would have gone there with that 6. In fact, if I look at this column, I've got 11 plus 7 is 18, plus 23, that's 41. So this one must be 4 to make up the 45, and that's a 3. So this one isn't 4 and 3, it's going to be 2 and 5. Not a 3 there, so that's 1 and 3. Not a 1 there, not the 5 there that would have gone with it. I now know here I've got 1, 3, 7 for that 11 cage. So this 6 cage isn't 1 and 5, it's got to be 2 and 4. I've got an 11 cage here, equal to this one. So it's not 2, 9, because I've got a 2 there. It's not 3, 8, because I've got a 3 there. It's not 4, 7, because I've got a 7 there. It only leaves 5 and 6 for that one. And this pair must be 8 and 9. 8 and 9. So that makes this pair, I've got 17 there for my 20, so 1 and 2 there. So not 1, 2 there, not 3, 4 there that would have gone with the 1 and 2. I've got a 10 cage here, not 1, 9, not 2, 8, because of what I've got in this 20 cage. So 3, 7 or 4, 6. So what else? I've got a 4 here. So this one isn't a 4. So that's 2 there and 4 there. So 5, 6, 8. In fact, I couldn't have a 5 there because I've got one in this 7 cage. So my only place for a 5 in this column is this one. So 5 and 6 that way round. So still to go here, either the 8 or the 9 to be joined by a 6. But 8 or 9 is too big to go there if the cage is less than or equal to 7. So that one's a 6. That's the other one of 8 and 9. And this can only be 1. That's 7. It can't be more than that. So 1 there. So what have I got in these two? I've got 8 or 9 joined by 7. So 7, 8, 9. 7, 8, 9. In fact, what I also notice, I've got an 8, 9 pair there. If I also had an 8, 9 pair there, I'd have a deadly pattern. So I could go 8, 9, 9, 8. Or 9, 8, 8, 9. I could swap my 8s and my 9s over and have a second solution. So I cannot have an 8, 9 pair there. So this one must be the 7, and that's 8 and 9. Okay, let's continue. 13 cage, so I could have 4 and 9 this way round, 5 and 8 either way round, or 7, 6 this way round. My 8 cage here can't contain the 2, so I could have 1, 7 or 3, 5. So I've got 1 or 3 there and 1 or 3 in the 5 cage. So a hidden 1, 3 pair there. So not a 3 in that cell. and not the 7 there that would have gone with it. I'm seeing a bit of a theme here. 137, 137, 1357, 137. A bit of a theme to remember on that line. In fact, if I've got 1 7 there, I must have 3 there. So I've either got a 3 there or a 3 there. The 3 can't be anywhere else on that row. So what can I have here? So not 1 2, not 3. I'm left with the big numbers 5 6 7 8 9. In fact, I must have a 5 on the top row of that box, because I've got a 5 there. Can't have a 5 in that row then, and I've got no candidate for a 5 there. So my 5 must be one of those. So my 5 can't be in that 8 cage, so that's 1 and 7. So not a 1 there, that's 2 and 3. So this 10 cage isn't 3 7, it's 4 6. So not a 3 there, that's 1 7. Not a 7 in any of those, because I've got a 7 there now. In fact, not 1 or 7 there, that one is a 3. That's not a 3. So 5 6 8 9 is all I'm left with for that row. So what else? I've taken I've got 5 8 or 9 there now, so 5 8 4. I've lost the 7 from that one. I can't have the 6 there that would have gone with it to make up the 13. So let's remove that as a candidate. So what does that, how does that help? On this row, I've got an 8 or 9 there and an 8 or 9 in the 15 cage, along with 3 4. So that's 3 4 8 9. So the rest of the cells 1 2 5 6 7, they're my only candidates. 1 2 5 6 7. Obviously I've got 6 or a 7 in there. So I've got a couple of 9 cages in this row. In fact, I know this one's exactly 10. It's less than 11, it's greater than 9. So those two add up to 10. I can't have 5 there because I'd need another 5 to go with it. So I must have 2 and 8 for that 10. And so that must be 5 and must have a 1 with it. So that can't be a 1, so that's 2 and 1 like that. So 2 and 1 are not candidates for that cell. And I've got an 8 there. So the 13 cage can't be 5 and 8. So 9 and 4 like that. So not a 9 there, not a 9 there. Right, so my 9s now cannot be 1 8 or 2 7. So one's 3 6, the other's 4 5. I've got 3 4 5 6 there, not a 4 there, so that's a 7. I've got a 6 and 8 in the row, so that one's a 9. And it just leaves a 1 to go in that cell. So not a 1 there. Let's have a look at this row. 20 plus 6 plus 4 is 30. So I've got 15 left to make up to 45. So 6 and 9 or 8 and 7. Let's fill in what we've got here. I've got 2 3 with 6 9 or 8 7 to make up my 20 cage. But not an 8 there. Okay, that's fine. So I must have a 3 either here or here. Must have a 3 either here or here. That all makes sense. Okay, so what else can we see? Let's see what jumps out at us. I've got a 2 and 3 there, so not 2 or 3 there, not a 3 there, not the 6 there that would have gone with it. Let's look at this column now. So I've got 1 2 4 8 9, so 3 5 6 7 left to go. I've already got 5 and 6 in that row, so that's 3 or 7. Got a 6 there, so 3 5 7. And this one I've got a 3 there, so that's between 5 6 and 7. Right. So what else do I know? In fact, I see something quite interesting now. In this column, my 5 and my 6 must be contained within this cage. I was getting excited and I shouldn't have been, so I won't continue down that road. Okay, I'll say a few more things. I don't know how useful they're going to be, but my 4 couldn't be there. My 4 in this box has to be in that row. So I'm not sure whether it's part of this cage or part of this one. And obviously this one greater than the pair of these. 5, 6 and 8, 2 of those in my 25 cage there. Right, in fact I do see something a bit more tangible. I've got 7 as one of those. So I can't have a 7 there. So that's a 1 there and a 7 there. I should now know the value of this. It's a 5. 5's the only number for that row. So not 5 there. I now know I've got a 5 as one of these two. So what could I have in the bottom there? So 4, 6, 8 or 9. I've got 1 and 7 in that 8 cage. So 4, 6, 8, 9 left to go, but not a 6. I've got one there. So 4, 8 and 9 are my candidates for those two. So I've definitely got a 9. I've got either 4 or 8. So I've definitely got a 9 between those two, and either 4 or the 8. So what I could have here, the other one of 4 and 8, and the other one of 3 and 7. I've got a 5 there, so I don't want a 5 there. So 5 in this 25 cage, either with 6 or 8. So what else would I have? If I've got 5 and 6, then I need a total of 14 to go with them. If I've got 5 or 8, I need a total of 12 to go with them. There are plenty of options, so I don't wish to overanalyse that at this stage. So what else can I, anything else jumping out? So must have the 1 in that column of that box, because I've got ones there and there. So right, I'm just still trying to think. What could this one be? Can't be 1, 8, and I've got both 5 and 6 there, and I've got 3 there. So it can't be 1, 3, 5, 6, 8. Only leaves 2, 4, 7, 9 as my candidates for that one. So, alright, I'm still very intrigued by this collection. So how big a number could I have there? I'm thinking. So that set of 6, a set of 6Ls must be at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it must add up to 21. So given that those two are equal, in fact, I'm just trying to work out what the least I could have there is. So if those two are equal, I could have 21 with I could have 7. I couldn't have 7, 7, 7 because that one has to be more than those two. Could I have 6, 6 and 9? I couldn't get away with, if I had 8 there, I could have 8, 7, 7. Yes, I think that's the least I could have. 8, 7, 7. So that is in fact 22. I couldn't have 21 there. So this one couldn't be a 9. Couldn't be 4 or 7. It couldn't be a 9 either. If I got 9, I've only got 21 left here. And I believe I could not have 21. I could have 21, couldn't I? Right, I'm talking nonsense again. So yeah, let's forget that. Right. So 4 5 or 3 6 there. Yeah. Got an 8 on the bottom row of that one. Okay. Let's see what's the most we could have for one of these two equal cages. So if we've got a 1 there, that's 15 plus 1 is 16. So I've got 29 between those. So I could have 9, 9, 11. So the very most I could have for these two equal cages is a 9. So once again, at least one there. 15 plus 1 is 16. So the maximum they could add up to is 25 minus 16, which is 29. And with that in mind, the two equal smaller ones, they couldn't be 10, because then I'd need at least 31. But I could have 9, 9 and 11 there. So I could have anything up to 9 here. So the maximum I could have in that cell is a 7, with that in mind, but I can't have a 1. I could have 2, 3, 4 or 7. In fact, that's not really that much choice. My 1 must go on the top row somewhere there. Let's have a look at this one. My maximum is 9, so I can't have the 9 itself in there. I can't have a 1 in that one. So again, the maximum I could have is a 7 there to be paired with a 2. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but not 2 or 3 there. So that one's at least 4. This one's at most 5. So no 6s and 7s there. In fact, no 6s at all in that row. So I've got to find two equal numbers, and I don't seem to have that much choice here now. So that's a good thing, isn't it? Less choice means it should be easier. And also bear in mind, I cannot use both the 6 and the 7 because my 15 cage needs one of the 6 and the 7. So in fact, I think I might have just said something wrong. My 8 or my 9, whichever one it isn't in the 15, must be in the top row. That's what I meant to say. I've got a 1 with either 8 or 9, and with something I haven't used in those two equal cages. So let's run through some numbers. I know that 9's the most each one of those cages could be. I couldn't have 5 because I'd need 1, 4 and 2, 3 for those two cages. I couldn't have 6 because I'd need 1, 5 and 2, 4. Could I have 7? I could have 2, 3, 4, 5 for 7 there. That's a possibility. Or could I? I don't have a pair there that add up to 7. So I couldn't have 7. I now know that these two cages each add up to 8 or 9. So with that in mind, I can't have the 4 there. Given that this is 8 or 9, a 4 can't be half an 8 cage. I also can't have a 5 to go with the 4 that I'd need for the 9. So, in fact, for my 8 or 9, I've got 2, 6, 2, 7 or 3, 6. So for my 8 or 9 here, what could I have? For a 9 I could have 2, 7 or 4, 5. Or for an 8 I could have 3, 5. Okay, well that's interesting. 2, 7. In fact, I couldn't have 2, 7 for my 9 cage there, because then I'd need 3, 6 for a 9 there, and I've taken up both the 15 options. So given that I want 8 or 9, I can't have 2 and 7 there. I couldn't have the 2 in that one. So what does that leave me with now then? I could have 3, 5, 4, 5. I can't have a 7 there now, can I? Given I want 8 or 9, I can't have a 7 there. So I've got 3, 5 or 4, 5. Now that's interesting. 3, 5 or 4, 5 there. So I can't have a 5 there. So my 2 and my 5 go that way round. And that can no longer be a 2. So let's have a look at this one again. I could have 2, 7, 3, 6. So that's interesting now. I can no longer have 2, 6 because I don't have 2 or 6 as a candidate in this cell. So this one are either 2, 7 or 3, 6 for a total of 9. So I want a total of 9 here, which must be 4 and 5. I don't want a 5 there. So what can I have on this top row? I know I've got a 1. I know I've got 8 or 9. My other number is not 4 or 5. I've got 1 of 6 and 7 there and 1 of 6 and 7 there. So my other number must be 2, 3. And here I've got the other one of 2 and 3 along with a 6, which hasn't yet come into play. Okay, so given that I've got a 9 then now, I need at least 10 here. I've only got 1 of 8 and 9 on this top row, but without using 8 or 9, I've got 1, 2, 3. I can't make it up to 10 with just 1, 2 and 3. So my 8 or 9 must be there, so isn't going to be that one. Okay, so that's hopefully some help. 3, 6. Right. In fact, I should know what that pair are now. I've got a 3, 7 pair and a 4, 5 pair. So this pair are 8 and 9. Right. Have I reduced my options here much? If I've got 8 there, then I need 5 and 6 there. 8 plus 5 plus 6 is 19. I'd need 6 there to top it up to 25, but I don't have a possible total of 6 to top it up to 25. So I can't have the 8 there forcing the 5 and 6 there. So I've got to have a 9 there and an 8 there. So not an 8 there, not an 8 there, not a 9 there. Right, let's stay on this one for a second. So I've got to have 5, 6 or 5, 8 now. If I've got 5 and 8, so 5, 8, 9 is 22, I need 1 and 2 there. That's possible. 2, 1. If I've got 5, 6, I need a total of 5. So 5 plus 6 plus 9 is 20. So whether I've got 5, 6, 9 or 5, 8, 9, I couldn't have a 6 there. So that only leaves this cell in that row for a possible 6. So no 6s there. But interestingly, no 6 there, so that one is a 5, and those two are 6 and 8 between them. Right, so let's come back to this one more time. So 5, 6, 9 is 20, for which I could have 2, 3. 5, 8, 9 is 22, for which I could have 1 and 2. So I've either got 1 and 2 there, or 2 and 3 there. I don't have a 2 in that cage. Right. So what can we say now? 4, 5, 6, 8. So I'm not sure about having a 7. I've got a 3, 7 pair. That's 3, 7 pair in that column. So that one's a 5. That's not 5 or 7, so that's 6. So this 9 cage is 4, 5. This one is 3 and 6. So no 6 there and no 3 there. No 6 there. No 4 there because of the pair I've got there. So 2, 2, 3, 7, 9 are those 4, but this one isn't 3 or 9. So that's going to be 2 and 7, 2 or 7. Got 6 there, so I've got 8 there and 6 there. So remember early on, this plus this were 15. I've got 20 there and a total of 10 there. So that's 30. So that plus that is 15. I need a 9 there to make it up to 45. So no 9 there, no 9 there, and no 9 in this 20 cage. So my 9 in this box has to be that one. What have I got on this top row? So I've got 2 or 7 along with 4, 5, but not a 5 there. I've got a 1 in this column now, so not a 1 there. Right, it feels like we're getting somewhere. In this cage, I've already got a 9, so I can't have a 9 there. So I've got 8, 9 there, so not a 9 on the top row of this one. My 9 in this box must be in the 15, so that's 6 and 9. So 2 there and 7 there in this what's become a 9 cage. So no 2 there. So that's not 2, 7, that's 4. So that's going to be an 8 and a 6 and a 3. So not 1 or 3 there, that's an 8. So this one I've got 5 plus 1 plus 2 plus 9. That 5, 1, 2, 9 is 17. I need 8 more to get it up to 25. So not 8 there. In fact, not 8 there either, because I've got one in the box or in the row already. 3, 4, 7 triple, I want a 9 there. And I want a 6 there. And a 4 there. So that's going to be 5 and 4. Not 5, not 4. In fact, no 4 there at all, because I've already got one. I've got 2, 7 pair there. So this one is a 5. I've got a 9 in that column, so I've got 6 and 9 that way round. I've got a 1 in that column, so 7 and 1 that way round. So no 7s there. 2, 8, 7. So no 7 there. That's 2 and 3. So this must be a 7. So not a 7 there. Not a 2 in that row, because I've got one already. Not a 5 in that row, because I've got one already. So 1, 7 and 3 there. So that one's going to be a 7, no 7s there. Got an 8 there, so that's 8 and 9 that way round. Got a 5 in that column, so 4 and 5 like that. Now with a 4, I've got 3 and 4 like that. And I've got 2 and 3 that way round. Okay, well, I hope that was useful. I hope you found that very helpful. Thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.